Hello YouTube, this is Deadone, and the next person that me and my dad will be talking about, he's a megastar in the super world. No, he's a superstar in the rock and roll world. He bites the heads off animals. He pissed on the Alamo. He's done every drug under the sun, and he's still alive. Some of you might have already know just by the clues that I have told you. So, who do you think he is? Some of you are right, some of you are wrong, but he is John Michael Osborne. Wait. You're thinking, who's John Michael Osborne? Well, that is Ozzy Osbourne's birth name. Some of you might not have known that, but that's who me and him are going to be talking about. This video is going to be one of many. We're going to work our way from the beginning of his solo career till now. We're going to tell the tales and the history that we know about the albums and the people that worked on them with Ozzy. Starting with Randy Rhoads, then working our way to Jakey Lee, to Zakk Wylde, and whoever else has worked on an album with Ozzy, going all the way to now. So strap in, sit down, get you some munchies, and it's gonna be a long one. And when it's all done, it's gonna be a beautiful collaboration. The Prince of Darkness will never die. So, what drew you to Ozzy Osbourne? Well, like after he left Black Sabbath, what drew you to, like, what was like your first instance, like this is, what made him better after he left Black Sabbath, more say?
I think the development with him and Randy Rhoads is like a match made in heaven. I mean, the music, all the music on Blizzard of Oz was extraordinary. Randy Rhoads is just gifted. That's all there is to it. I mean, the quality of the music, Tommy Aldridge on drums and Bob Daisley on bass and Ozzy on vocals. It was just a match made in heaven, all of them. It's like a well-oiled machine. The music was beautiful. I think the way it really developed with me, the sound just blew me away. Every song was good. It ain't very often that you pick up an LP from a band and listen to every song. You skip from one song to the other, and that one sucks, that one sucks, that one sucks. Now this album here, you listen to the entirety of it, and go on the B side and listen to it, and turn it over and play the A side again. It's beautiful. It's unreal.
Back in your day when CDs and LPs.
Yeah, that's when LP had to turn it over.
Yeah.
Yeah, the LP was beneficial though. You got the jacket and all the pictures on it and stuff, and you had the song lyrics on it and everything. A lot of the CDs today, it's just one little jacket with a picture on the front of it, and you ain't getting no lyrical content with it. So you got to sing along with that song and learn the lyrics pretty quick. And when it come on the radio, you're singing along with it. So.
Yeah. What set like Randy Rhoads aside from all the other guitarists of the time?
His sound was phenomenal. It was clear. Yes, it was distorted sound, but there was a clarity to his music, and his influence from his classical background. I mean, everybody knows that his mother had a musical teaching school and stuff, and he started from a very young age, and he made his own footboard. Back in that time, I mean, you had distortion boxes, you had reverb boxes, and you had wah-wah pedals, but he made his own footboard pedal, and his picking method and the clarity of his sound, he picked at a 45-degree angle. His ability to play with Ozzy, I think it was a rebirth for Ozzy, and that's what really started Ozzy. Randy Rhoads was just phenomenal. He is one of the best, and to me today, he's still one of the best. He's very, very much missed. When Crazy Train comes on the radio every day on the radio station I listen to, I still get goosebumps. And I can't say that for a lot of music, the older music. But when I hear an Ozzy song, an older Ozzy song, Blizzard of Oz, Diary of a Madman, it still gives me goosebumps to hear him play. He was phenomenal. Greatly missed.
Going from Blizzard of Oz to Diary of a Madman, was there like any differences like between the time periods and stuff, like the change and stuff, like from the music till then and stuff? Because I wasn't alive.
Diary of a Madman is harder and blacker than Blizzard of Oz. That album to me is better as far as the material being harder and heavier, and I mean, you're going from Over the Mountain to the very last song, Diary of a Madman. It just kind of flows. The whole album flows together. I know it's not good to wish people back, but man, I could just imagine the third album, what the third album would have been. Because Over the Mountain to me that's the epitome of a guitarist's work. And Diary of a Madman, with a classical and rock and roll intermixed in that song, the guitar work is phenomenal. It's just unreal. That song there, I don't have a favorite Ozzy song. I love all of his music, but that song there, when I listen to that, I want to be wearing headphones because I want to listen to Randy Rhoads and Ozzy, his vocals together. I block everything else out. And Randy Rhoads, his guitar work and that is just phenomenal. I can't imagine what it would be like now. It's just that record there is just unreal.
On the last album that they did together, Diary of a Madman, when do you like the stories that they told on the CDs and stuff, like when do you think like Ozzy started to lose it all and stuff, get out of control with the booze and alcohol? Do you think it was going from Blizzard of Oz to Diary of a Madman, or do you think it was already there and it was just getting worse?
I think it was already there. I don't think he ever stepped off it. I think the progression of releasing both albums so close together and touring, because he toured with Blizzard of Oz material, and then he did the stint with Diary of a Madman, and then he went back on tour again. I mean, it was like 3-year period there where they're on tour constantly, and touring with young rock bands like Motley Crue. I saw him with Motley Crue at Glens Falls Civic Center, and we're talking about before Motley Crue was really anybody. It wasn't Shout at the Devil. It was Livewire album, and that was an EP. Really, it had 6 songs on it, and then it was re-released with 8 tracks on it. So this was before Shout at the Devil album. You could just imagine them guys getting together and partying together. I think that's when everything was really hard and heavy and touring and stuff, and it influenced a lot of their music during the tour and stuff. I saw them at Great Glens Falls Civic Center in New York in 1982 before they're going down the East Coast towards Florida and stuff. We all know what happened when they got to Florida. That was a bad time. I'll admit that I cried when I heard the news that Randy Rhoads died. In the back of your head, you're wondering if Ozzy's going to keep going or not. And he did. Thank God. So, Ozzy rules, man. That's all there is to it. Yeah, those are some hard times, because they were supposed to release a live album. Jet Records, they were contracted to release a live album. So there again, Ozzy had to tour the 4th year in a row and record Speak of the Devil album with all Black Sabbath material, which he got a lot of heat for that from Black Sabbath, because Black Sabbath at that time, Dio, Ryan James Dio, was with Black Sabbath, and they were releasing a live album called Live Evil. So there was a lot of controversy there. That wasn't very good times for either one of the bands. But who was making more money? Ozzy Osbourne, of course.
Do you think that there was any feud between Ronnie James Dio and Ozzy, like, because like him like being known as like Ozzy's the Prince of Darkness, and like Ronnie James Dio's like the, what was he, Godfather of Metal or something like that? I can't remember what.
No, because you're talking about really two different singers. I love Ronnie James Dio. My first influence with his music was when he had his band called Elf. And then he sang with Rainbow, and then Black Sabbath, and then he started his solo career. I don't think there was ever any hierarchy there about him being with Black Sabbath and Ozzy being fired from Black Sabbath. I don't think they ever had any problem with that. I really don't. I remember Ozzy saying that Black Sabbath, after he did Diary of a Madman album, they released it and they were on tour. I can remember reading a Hit Parader magazine where he quoted that Black Sabbath was so commercialized that they, their black music essence and stuff, he says that's all they really talked about, and we were all doing these drugs and stuff like that, and this is how we wrote this music and stuff. He said it never come about like that. He says we'd sit down in the studio and we feud and excuse me, write this lyrical content down, and he said, and Tony Iommi would want to change this, and Geezer Butler didn't like this, and Bill Ward didn't like that. He says I could never write freely with Black Sabbath. He says solely with Randy Rhoads we could sit down and we could write. I could write the lyric and Randy Rhoads just look at that and start strumming something. He said that was a magical thing that we had together. He said we didn't fight, we didn't feud. He said it was nothing like that. And he said I wish Ronnie James Dio the best. He's, no, he never had any. I can never ever remember anything, them fighting or feuding or anything about any of that. I do remember him saying that I make a whole lot more dough than they do. So, and he did,
yeah.
And he still does.
You just see where they are now and stuff.
Right. You gotta look at where Ronnie James Dio come from, and look at where Ozzy come from. And it's two different worlds. I got one Ozzy poster that I bought when my stepfather was in the Navy. We were stationed in Bremerton, Washington, and there was a record store there in Bremerton. They had all kinds of Ozzy posters, and this is the time Blizzard of Oz was out, and Diary of a Madman was out. Randy Rhoads had passed away. I didn't have anything. I had Blizzard of Oz cassette and the Diary of a Madman cassette, and then I started getting word with the Hit Parader magazines that they had posters out and stuff. So I went to this record store, and I had just enough money to buy this poster, and it was the only one I hung up in my room at that time. But it was priceless. It's 1982 release copyright, so it's things like 35, 37 years old. So it's been around the country with me. I'm 44 and I still have a lot of my Ozzy posters and Randy Rhoads.
It's kind of almost unheard of, really.
Mm-hmm.
For stuff that.
And this record store too, it says there was they're releasing EPs and demos and stuff like that. And at that time I saw they had picture discs and stuff like that. So that's something else that we can talk about further, because this is going to be an ongoing presentation about the growth with Ozzy, for my growth, because there's a lot of times that I had some hard times growing up and stuff, and that's what I would do. I'd go in my room and put my headphones on and listen to Ozzy. That was the only one I wanted to listen to at that time. It's helped me through a lot of difficult times in my life. Randy Rhoads poster. Randy Rhoads was working with Jackson Rhoads at the time, making the guitar of his own. This poster here I got at that same record store. They called them mini posters back then. But it's a picture with Randy Rhoads with his white guitar, a Jackson Rhoads. I never saw it on any of the concerts. I went to 2 Ozzy concerts for Randy Rhoads, Diary of a Madman, and the Mad Mad tour, which was both Blizzard and Diary of a Madman sets. And I never saw him play it live, but I've seen a lot of pictures of it, and that was the first poster that I ever saw of it. The second one is with his Gibson Les Paul. That was from a Hit Parader magazine. That Hit Parader magazine I picked up, and it had 4 of those posters in it, and I gave 3 of them to friends in school, and I kept 1 of them. And that's when I was in 9th grade, when that Hit Parader magazine come out. And the third Randy Rhoads poster is with his black Gibson Les Paul. Them 2, it's like night and day. Both of them are phenomenal in what they do, their musical careers are phenomenal. It's unreal, the vocals that come out of Ozzy. And the man's 64 years old, and he can still sing like he did when he was 18, 19 years old. There ain't very many singers that can do that.
Also, you see all the stuff that he's done in his life with the drugs and stuff, and then he's still alive.
Yep.
And versus like Ronnie James Dio.
Yep. That's another subject. That man was phenomenal too.
Yeah.
He's a beautiful man. I miss him. There was some big influences too with Ronnie James Dio. The first time I ever saw him on stage, that little man can sing like that. When he come out on stage, I saw my first concert with him was Sacred Heart tour, and when he come out on stage, I was like, man, he's little.